Today we're talking about progressive overload versus progressive tension. They're not exactly the same thing, though heavily correlated and very related. The reason why I'm bringing this up is my friend used to always say, Matt, if you need a team of designers to draw the best square, tell them to draw squares. Not necessarily, these are, I guess these are collectively called rhombuses. He's like, if you tell someone to practice drawing rhombuses, yeah, they'll sometimes draw squares, but don't get surprised if they're also getting good at these other things that don't really matter so much. And that's what we're talking about today. If you're looking to build strength and muscle, this is what you want. You want squares, not rhombuses, which are related sort of, but not exactly the same. Here's why. Okay, well, we got weight, we got resistance, we've got tension, muscle tension. All of them very heavily correlated, very much related, but not exactly the same thing. Weight, that's just weight on thing. You can have the same weight produce different resistance depending on different machines you're using, different exercises, different joint angles, different ranges of motion. So it's not exactly the same thing. You can have some difference. And then on resistance, like how much is pressing down, it's not exactly tension. I do this a lot with folks when they come to me and they're like, oh, I can't get any bigger or stronger because of what I'm doing. I'll change their technique and how they're using their muscles. And in many cases, the resistance will be the same, but the actual tension in the muscles is actually different. In some cases, we'll actually cut back the resistance significantly, but their tension is much higher. Now, when it comes to your building of muscle, this is what matters. Your muscle and strength and stuff, tension, because we're talking about changes and adaptation at a cellular level. The only thing your body understands at a cellular level is that. Doesn't understand resistance, doesn't understand weight, all that stuff very heavily influenced your tension. But as I've learned the hard way, just because you're using the right tools and you even have the right technique doesn't mean the tension's where it should be. That's why I had a chiropractor telling me, Matt, your ass is totally disengaged. You're not using it nearly enough. I'm like, I'm doing kettlebell swings, I'm doing deadlifts, what the hell? It's like, I don't know what you're doing, but you're not using your glutes for it. That's because tension is a skill. It's your brain that controls it, not a weight, not even an exercise to a large degree. You know, you got these guys who are curling like this, it's all on their back, it's hardly anything in the biceps. Who cares if the weight's going up? Who cares how much weight there is? What's going on in the muscle? This is why progressive overload, when I think of overload, we're thinking more weight on the bar, more resistance, right? That's what we're progressing, is automatically guaranteed to produce more tension, more time under tension, but it's not always the case. There's plenty of loopholes, and if your mind is thinking more overload, more overload, more overload, you're now in danger of drawing tons of rectangles and diamonds and thinking you're getting better at drawing squares. And it gives you an opening to mess up, to screw up. This is why I'm such a big thing on words, right? Caloric surplus. No, that's not important. Overload, is that really what you want? No, we want progressive tension. How good are you at producing better tension in your muscles? You produce better tension, this doesn't have to necessarily progress a whole lot. It can even regress, and you're still gonna get bigger and stronger because of it. I'll tell you more of why that'll happen in the next video. Be fit, live free.